Hello Tubesters, it's Gav, welcome to another one of my videos. Yeah, let's get some light on the subject on a bright sunny day. I made a video yesterday on this whole subject, which is Old Tom's Appreciation build, the second kit that I'm building, and some shout outs. About 8-9 times I've tried to load that video, 2 hours to do a 20-minute video, and it stops like at 20%, then 80%, you get the picture. So I'm reshooting everything again. Let's do the shout outs. Two of the guys out of the three, I don't know really. I've only been subbed a short while. The other guy I've been subbed to a while, and he's getting close to the 1,000, and I just thought maybe, you never know, even if it gets him 5 or 10 extra subs, it gets him that closer to the magical 1,000 mountain. So let's go to the two guys first that I've only watched this first chap a couple of days ago. I like what he was doing. I enjoy customization, modification, basically cutting lots of styrene sheet and tube up and everything, and making the model slightly different. So forgive me and look at my main laptop, and it's ELH Scale Model Garage. Edward is in the States, as most of my builders do, as I tend to like American vehicles. He's doing a hauler, and again making it his own, modifying it, taking doors out and making larger doors, and just general cutting up lots of pieces and redoing it in his own style. And I love that type of work. So he's only got 117 subscribers, 37 videos. These are all automotive related. I thought I'd time in with Old Tom's appreciation build update. So go and check out Edward, please. Give him a few more subs. If you like automotive and he's not on your sub list, maybe go out there and press that sub button, and help him push his content out there to more people. I'm sure he'd really appreciate it. I believe Edward's in Texas. I don't know if that makes any difference, but I'll just give you some background information. So please go and check the guy out. I like what he's doing, and I'll continue to watch. So that's number one. Number two is Paul from... let's get this right, because I did it yesterday and I couldn't do it properly. I'm really prepared here, aren't I? I always pronounce the channel wrong. So let's get it up. Thank you. Very slow. Left Coast Model Car Builds. Most of you will know Paul, I'm quite sure. He's got about 3,000 subs, but let's try and get him a few more. Mainly just because, as Sean at the Scale Model Car Guy says, it just gets the hobby, more people sucked into the hobby, like a big pool cleaner. No, we don't really have outdoor pools over here, but if we did, we'd have one of them big suction things that would suck everything in, and that's what we're trying to do, get more people involved. As you know, I paint figures, I do military stuff, and mainly down to Old Tom. His appreciation build. I got into hot rods and even muscle cars and that, so, but mainly hot rods. I got sucked in. So there's plenty more subs out there, I'm sure, for these people. So I really like the way Paul presents stuff. He's not all over the shop like me. He's calm, and he just you can see he's got a real love for his subject, which we all have, or we wouldn't be doing it. But he's a high skill builder. Stop waving your hands around, Gav. Like a tic-tac man at the horse races. He loves his what he's doing, and it comes through in his videos. And even in the short time I've been watching him, I've been really not only really impressed, but again, he's somebody who is happy not only to share his subject with the rest of us. He will respond whenever possible to the rest of us, and he tries to help us all out, especially those less gifted or like me, more new to the subject. Just helpful hints and tips on how to improve and get that next step ahead. So please go and check Paul out, and let me read it again. Left Coast Model Car Builds. He'd appreciate it. And third, but by no means least, Phil. Yes, you Phil. There we go. Phil at Horton's Hot Rod Shop. He's been very supportive of me, I hope to return the favour. He probably doesn't have a clue or half of what I'm getting on about, like War of the Spanish Succession, French infantry. I mean, you have never heard of it. You build cars. Well, broaden your horizons. Or 1 in 700 warships. I can't reach for anything else at the moment, but there's plenty on the desk, believe me. So yeah, please go and check out Phil. He's on about 955, something like that. I'm probably going to lose him subs now, but it's my intent to try and push him closer to that 1,000 mark. He'd really appreciate it. It's like a totem to people, that 1,000 subs, and it always, when you're at that 50 odd mark, you might as well be at 500 because it seems to go on forever. As Doug Hensley will tell you. So, and my own experience. So, yeah, please go and check out Phil. There'll be links to these three guys' channels in the description, and they would really appreciate you coming along and enjoying their hobby with them. Thank you very much. Now let's go down to the bench and see one of the gods of the styrene automotive world, that is Old Tom, Rambler69 channel, and we'll see how I've destroyed a perfectly good car to make something completely different. It's all fun. See you at the bench. Right guys, thanks for joining me at the bench. This was the paddy wagon, now being turned into some type of chopped pickup. Not really sure what it's supposed to be, I just go with the flow really. But as everybody says, it's your own kit, well, your own kit, but your own model, and make it as you want to. I was gifted this kit by a subscriber who wishes to remain anonymous, and he shall be so for that reason. But thank you very much again. I can't. He's not got a channel, so it's not. Well, I couldn't actually give him a shout out, could I? Because then he wouldn't be anonymous. Shut up, Gav. Anyway, this is what we've got so far. There is a couple of photographs at the end where the radiator is actually standing up straight. So let's take everything out for the moment. Go from the back. This is Blue Lightning, by the way. Can you tell? I was trying to hinge these to make them accessible. I'd even made a little battery that looks more like a transistor radio, but hey, I was attempting it. Unfortunately, I couldn't make hinges that would work, and I tried, believe me, a whole afternoon of making hinges. Oh, they'd hinge, but they'd be pulling forward, oh, it was terrible. So they've had to be stuck down. I've scribed down slightly just to, you know, to make them look like stowage bins. The ubiquitous, no, I can't spell that, but the ubiquitous bomb for a hot rod as a fuel tank, 1 in 48 scale bomb. I've got 0 kit spares really, although I do have, from my first build, I have a Roadster steering wheel. Hurrah! Yeah, you know, as you can see, I've put a bulkhead across there. We've done our stowage bins. I will be putting some chains on there, only they'll just get knocked off while I'm faffing around, so they're not on there for the moment. I need to clean this a really good sand down and get everything sorted, but that's where we are at the moment with that. Still got to put a bench seat in. I'm going to maybe do like a bomber top, as in, you know, put some holes in it and stuff, but have it as a bomber bench seat. I'd seen a rod that had got that, and I really like that look. Now, when you get this as a kit, you probably know, because most of you would have built it, it's just there's no firewall, or bulkhead as we call over here, but there's no firewall. So I put a backing plate on, very impressed with myself, and then realised that there's a great big gap here. So I'm using, the reason it's all covered in powder is I'm with a mask most of the time. I'm filling it with CA and talcum powder, so CA glue mixed with talcum powder. It makes a really, if you can just see it here, I haven't sanded these bits down yet, but I have here. If you can see, it makes a very, very clean, rock hard. It doesn't shrink. I got that from the aircraft modelers, so that's still got to be done. And it does make a nice filler. When you mix it with, it's just like mixing a cake. You know, how much talcum powder you use, you can goop it up really good. I may do a tiny bit more. You can see there, you sometimes get the odd little dot in there, so I might go with some more, or just with some plastic putty, I'm not sure yet. I'm still working on this. The video I shot yesterday, this hadn't actually been sanded down, but as you can see, this filler piece, styrene filler piece in there, then topped with glue. We'll need some more on that. I put some bezels in because they're just like the glove box there, which can you just about see is really faintly scored, so I put my own in. I blanked off this for the radiator to sit on purely because it's just a great big gap and it looked rubbish. I put a blanking piece on the back because I really didn't know. I'd looked at a couple of how to make your own radiators, but most of them started off with a radiator, and I just didn't have the type of plastic thicknesses. As I say, I don't, you know, I'm only just getting into the automotive, and I don't, although I obviously do bits of scratch building with other stuff, I don't have that range of tubing and different sheets and thicknesses as some of you guys that have been down the road a piece already have. So I made myself a little electric fan. I just think that, well, the engine's out now, but when it's down there you hardly see it, so for my skill level at the moment, you can just see the fan blades in there. That'll do. I scored, I have zero, and I mean zero type of, the whole idea with this is I've been given the kit and I just wanted to do it, it's going to sound horrible, on the cheap, but I'll just do it. That sounds bad for old Tom, doesn't it? Sorry Tom, I didn't mean it like that, but I probably did. but without spending the money, if that makes sense. So I've scored some plastic there, yeah, that I'd, for radiator, well, for a grill it looks pretty naff, but it is what it is. We're still going to put a filler cap on there. There is a Ford one. I thought of taking it off and put, with the lightning bolt theme, have a tiny lightning bolt on the top as well. I will put a bottom hose in there. I was going to take the top hose off this, but I may keep it now because it's that, when it's in there you hardly see it, and it would be good to hold the, with a bit of sand in that, hold that in place better. There's no pulleys or anything for an alternator. It's a really bad alternator, I know it is, but you know, I'm only learning. The pulleys are really in a silly position, but again, these hold it down on the chassis, the engine mounts, and I couldn't really, I suppose I could have stuck it down there now, thinking about it. Oh well, we are where we are. So I will put a band, some type of belt on that. I had to do a load of filling with plastic card, as you can see. Yeah, I know there's bits, by the way, of it took 3 days the second time to get, and I wish I'd stuck with it now, to get the chrome off it, the gold chrome, and I wish I'd have put these back in the tank before I'd stuck them all together, but never mind. I drilled out these. These are supposed to be the ram air ducts, so I've drilled out those. Was going to put my own pipes on, but realised I had nothing to make them with, so I've had to go with the originals. I've sanded round to make it, I can't really, I've drilled the ends. I've put my metal file around just to try and crimp them a bit, just to give them some type of, I can't flare them, you see, so, and I thought my skills at trying to flare each one of these, they'll all be different diameters and they'll look rubbish. I'm going to be drilling my spark plugs in here, down in the manifold area here, one there and two in the middle. I think that's it, but I won't do that till, well, I will do it before I paint the engine, but obviously I'm faffing around with everything else yet. I may well have to, because when you put the, I might do it like old Tom does in some of his and mount the distributor on the firewall, because again that's going to be really tight when it's in the bell housing there, gearbox housing, I don't know what you call it in the States. So that's that. I think that's everything there. I'm not going to go over the top wiring, extra wires in, because I will be doing that on future builds, but this, it's a bit of a what if engine anyway in some respects, and I'd be lost trying to figure out how else to do that. So that's that. And the only other thing I've done, I've made my own, well, Archie's come visiting. Say hello, Arch. I've made my own distributors because I hadn't got any, and I'd practiced practiced. I stripped off a wire, stripped off the thicker piece off the covered paper clips, and that will be, hang on, that's going to be my actual thing, well, what do you call it, these will be my actual boots on top of the, they may be slightly big for this distributor. I've had to cut that off a piece of styrene sprue. As I say, I don't have any tubing or anything or thicker stuff. Believe me, I've tried. So it might work, it might not. I'll take it, I'll have to put a piece of wire in the end when I glue. That's not glued onto the end, but I'll glue onto the end, glue a piece of wire in and then glue it into that, I'm presuming. So that's about as far as we've got. I won't move on to underneath or anything until I've completely got this how I want. Oh, there we go. I've got this how I want, and I've built my seat up. So this whole area up top, apart from doing plug wiring and that, is done. Obviously, I'll put a piece of tubing for, well, a piece of rodding, whatever, for my steering wheel, but leave the steering wheel off for now because I'm bound to knock it off. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these footrests yet. Maybe just leave them in the same. I don't know yet. The idea it's going to be maybe a pearl blue, blue lightning, and then with some aluminium, bare aluminium touches in it, maybe, or just all blue. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, there we go. Thanks for stopping by and taking a look. There'll be a whole host of links. A link to old Tom's channel. Hopefully I'll remember to put Jeff in this time because he's hosting the group build. That's at Jeff's Model Garage or Garage. And the three guys that I really would like to go along and sub. Obviously sub the other two as well, please. But sub the other three guys as well. I'm sure they'd appreciate it. So thanks for stopping by and taking a look. Next time you see this, hopefully we'll have a seat in and you know, a bit more done. And maybe even something like I'm going to make my own springs for the underneath. Obviously I've got to really go to town sanding all this properly back first. I've scratched it so much. So yeah, look after yourselves. Thank you if you've been making videos. They've been really good. I've seen another guy that I've been watching his car videos. I'll give him a shout out when I next do a shout out. I've seen some really nice work out there. So much appreciated. Cheers.